If the infamous astrologers ever told you that we're supposed to exist in a matriarchy instead of a patriarch, you would say, whoa, did he bump his head? That ain't him, right? I'm the proud, misogynistic, anti-feminist, beat on your chest barbarian. Drink out of the milk carton, scratch your nuts. Grab the woman by the forelock, drag her down the street. Say, make my sandwich, right? Of course you think that of me. But let's put this in perspective. A society, a civilized society, it absolutely must operate as a matriarchy. Now, why do I say that? Looking through the lens of feminism and how it has contaminated our perception and ideal of what the female is and what a woman is, we would never understand that appropriately. We can never make sense of it or justify it in any way. If you look at any community, especially liberal communities, rather it be by state or by city, it is plagued with violence, juvenile delinquencies. It is plagued with teenage pregnancies, drug dealing. Kids are confused about their life, their destiny, what they're supposed to be doing, rather than not they're a boy or a girl. They're socially awkward, very weird, strange, recluse. They indulge in culture of consumerism at excessive capacities. Liberal ideologies and agendas, they stick and last very well in such communities, furthering corporate corruption, degeneracy, lack of values, morals. It's chaos. So appropriately, what this is to mean properly, without the stigma of feminism, without the plague of feminism, it can be understood. When a female is in her right mind, her nature is oracle. When a woman is in her proper constitution, her desires, her needs, it points to civilization every single time. Her nature is the roadmap, the blueprint, the atlas, the architect's draft of what it means to be civilized. Man is a cognitive image. Woman is a spiritual image in essence. So through her nature, we consult her nature. We consult her sensitivities. What makes her feel unsafe? What makes her feel threatened? There goes our instructions on how to create an infrastructure of security within the society. What gives her fulfillment and joy? What causes her to fill an environment with laughter? What causes her to feel secure in the rearing of her children? There goes our standards for domestic and community affairs. She is the oracle that we have to consult to know what does it mean to be civilized. If man goes on a trip or on a journey by himself, there's very little that he needs. There's very little that he has to consider. Very little. If he has to take a piss, he'll find a bush. He wants something to eat or drink, he's very decisive about what he's going to eat or drink. The conditions, the weather, where he sleeps, the entire earth is man's comfortable space. Every environment, every circumstance, every condition, man can make peace with it. If he's in war, in combat, he's on a construction site, taking a nap on his lunch break on a stack of plywood, dirty, dusty, rusty. Man is comfortable anywhere, in any situation, any circumstance, any condition. It does not make a difference. We are man. When the nature of man says, I need a home, at minimum, home for a man is not even 4 walls. It can be a tent, a bed of leaves, a car seat, a truck seat, a corner on a sidewalk, park bench. He rents a room for a couple $100 a month or a week, and nothing in there but a floor, a blanket, video game set, some dumbbells. He's in heaven. He's content. He has less to cloud his judgment and less to stand between him and his clarity, his peace of mind. The less man has, the clearer he thinks. The less man has, the more contentment he has access to. The more simplified his lifestyle and frugal, the more efficient he becomes. Man is not like woman. The nature of man cannot be consulted. We cannot be the oracle to consult as what civilized should mean, because our nature is not civilized. Man's nature is not civilized. It's not supposed to be, to a certain extent. Every father wants to know that their son, not the daughters, every father wants to know that their sons have access to the uncivilized instinct within themselves. A father has reason to worry if they do not see the signs of their son's ability to rely on, gain access to, trust in their primal instincts. The grit, the wolf, the beast, the animal, the warrior, the killer. If we don't have that, if we lose touch with that part of ourselves, we are not man. You go to get your nails done, your cuticles. You go to the spa, you get your massage. You go to Starbucks and get your little cute cup and put it in your little cute cup holder. You got your corporate job and smelling like cologne, your haircut. You got used to this. But what man understands is that we judge each other based on who still has access to the wolf. No matter how much money he has or success, he still within himself has to bow to the one who still has access to his wolf inside of himself. The little dirty, dusty ass nigga walking down the sidewalk can hold superiority over the man who has reached millions and success and become polished and distanced from his killer instinct. That's the world of man. The world of man says, nigga, I could split your neck right now. So how can that money save you from me fucking your shit up right now on the spot, nigga? That's our world. So it's not appropriate to consult man for the instructions to civilization. It has to come from the woman. To misunderstand this with the image and reputation, the characteristics of the feminist, it has no standing. The feminist is in a spirit of jealousy, envy, competition with man. For that reason, she's a fugitive from her own nature and constitution, which is to be the oracle of civilization within every society. She cannot be the oracle of civilization if she is running away from her own nature that makes her that. It is within her femininity that is established, because that is her constitution, that which she is primarily consisting of. An instinct in nature. She has a hypersensitivity to quality, value, efficiency, pleasure, comfort, joy, happiness, togetherness, viscosity, the agreeable nature of the feminine principle, harmony, justice, fairness, goodwill. This is what makes her the oracle of civilization. When she steps into feminism, she corrodes all of this away from her core constitution. As she transmutes herself into the constitution of man. And from there, she no longer can be the oracle that we consult for the wisdom of civilization. That is what makes every civilization a matriarchal manifestation. It can only come from the sensitivities and intuition of women. How many of us men didn't become civilized until we loved a woman? We may have been raised by a good woman. And when we got on our own, we got with our homeboys, we got with our crew, we went through life and the rites of passage into manhood. And until we loved a woman, we gave all of our effort to become less civilized, because it's what allows us to prevail through the wilderness of society as the alpha, successor, victorious. Without that instinct, you're dead in the water. You're eaten alive. The 10th house is a forest and is full of wolves. He's built for that. But when he comes to love a woman, or when he comes to beget a daughter, this is what causes him to transform and ascend into a higher expression of himself as the civilized man. Honey, don't drink out of that milk carton. What are you doing? Here's a cup. Take your shoes off before you come in the house. Oh my God, what are you doing? Her standards, her instincts, it's a duality to his own nature. But once it is understood how her nature and his nature is complementary to each other, we arrive at the wisdom of that connection. And to accept the wisdom of that connection is to realize love. Wisdom and love. And I'm referring this back to Gemini. Understand? A woman brings refinement to a man. No matter how hard a man tries, only a woman's sensitivities can perfect his refinement. Only a woman's intuition can perfect his expression of civilization. There's a certain way you have to talk to a woman if you want her to feel respected or valued or safe. There's a certain way you have to respond or react to frustrating situations if you want the relationship to last, and if you want her to feel safe from your tongue and safe from your hand. There's a certain way you have to address difficult conversations, conflicts, disagreements. There's negotiation that has to take place in your nature, your behavior, your standards, if you are to live with a woman in peace. Now, mind you, every woman is a female, but every female is not a woman. Let me get that straight first before I say what I'm about to say. A woman, not a female, a woman, she has a constitution. And that constitution insists on cleanliness, sterility, purity, sincerity, kindness, love, compassion, friendliness, patience, unity, harmony, compromise, understanding. Her constitution does not change. That is constitution of woman. That is not constitution of man. The constitution of man looks like a prison, a supermax facility. That's the constitution of man. A military, a hunting club, a weight room, a boxing club, a construction site. The constitution of man is a duality to her own constitution. So man's constitution cannot be the basis of society. Woman's constitution has to be the basis of society. Not female, not feminist, woman. That is the mature, framed, developed, refined, competent expression of the female archetype. Her first consideration is how what you do or say makes other people feel. Man's first consideration is not how his actions make someone feel. It is the outcome, the result, that man has an initial attachment to. What is the result or consequence of what I'm going to say or do? And feelings is not a part of his mathematics. So what it is as a matriarchy, it is not the woman's head that is the basis of a matriarchy. It's her nature that is the basis of matriarchy. It is her nature, not her intelligence. It's not her philosophy. It's not her cognitive input or her cognitive contribution. It is her nature that is the oracle. It is her natural instincts that are the oracle. It holds the codes to what civilized should mean, to how a society should be structured and designed if it is to be civilized. That is what makes it true that any true civilization has its constitution and basis informed by the oracle of woman.